Thank you. Yes, we're outside of the federal courthouse here in downtown Vancouver, and joining me today are two guests. Let me introduce them. This is Alex Morton.
Hello.
And this is Hereditary Chief John Macro.
Yeah, hello.
John, tell me a little bit about your situation in the fight to save wild salmon.
We've been supporting amongst our people because of such a big impact on our stocks in the mainland. This year, Bond Sound and Thompson Sound, they have grizzly bears that are running around hungry. And we strongly believe that the fish farms have impacted our rivers in the mainland. When I was a young man and I fished in the mainland in the 60s, the fish were like raindrops on the water, literally. We have our local guys going in there with tourists, and the bears are hungry, no fish. And Marine Harvest guy said to me, "I seen 4 jumpers in the mainland." I said, 4 jumpers does not feed a nation. And we have many tribes there that we count on for fish in the mainland. My children live up there, and they depend on the fish, the villages, and it has had a big impact. The human factor's there, but the fish is suffering right now, and they're so low, I don't think the rivers can come back.
Wow.
We're that close to losing the whole system.
Wow. Alex, you've been at this battle for many, many years now. Tell me about your involvement from the very beginning. How did you first discover this virus, and tell me a little bit of history about that.
Well, I was up there studying killer whales in 1984, and the fishermen came to me and they said they're putting fish farms in all the wrong places where the wild salmon are. And I began to look at it myself as a biologist, and they're having an enormous impact. The sea lice, the viruses, they put the farms exactly on the migration route of the wild salmon, so all the young fish going by those farms from those rivers are covered in sea lice and bathed in viruses as they go to sea. I mean, it'd be like taking your child to the infectious disease ward of a hospital on our way to school. That's exactly what is going on, and they're not surviving it.
You actually won the case to have the federal government test their smolts to see if they actually had this virus. You won the case, and now where are we at today?
Well, this is the incredible thing. Yes, the court said DFO has to test these fish for Piscine reovirus before putting them into the farms. And instead of saying yes, the DFO is just ignoring that, and now they're in court. The salmon farming industry is risking their entire reputation, saying this virus is no problem, no problem, no problem, we don't need to test. Why not just test? If it's no problem, just test. Case over, done. But it is a problem, and that's their problem now. 80% of this industry is infected. This virus gets into the red blood cells of fish and causes them to explode. Now that the nations have risen up and taken this industry to court, the occupation that went on for 280 days, several lawsuits, the industry is either going to be chased out of this province, or they're going to bow out gracefully and say they're going to respect First Nations rights and get out of the territories where the nations are protecting their fish.
Absolutely. Do we know what this will have on humans if they eat a fish with this virus? Has there been any testing there? Do we know anything about that yet?
No testing. Don't know, but I can tell you I work with this virus. It's a very tough little virus. It can stand high heat, which means our body temperature. And I would definitely wash your hands very well after touching farm salmon.
Wow. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
And thank you, Hereditary Chief. Thank you very much. Back to you in studio.